What's going on? Waddles here. So the other day I had a comment from the Minecrafter asking me to show off a kelp farm. So you know me, I did my thing. I went into the game and started farming kelp and came up with a design. Today I'm going to show you how to make that design. I do want to do a disclaimer though. I'm not claiming to have invented this design. Nobody probably invented this design. It's basically a sugarcane farm that's underwater. But nonetheless, I will show you how to make it. It's customizable and expandable, so you can make it really big or really small, and it's pretty easy to make. You could set it up right before the update or even during the update, of course. If this tutorial helps you out, help me out, and drop a like on it and maybe even subscribe. I have lots of other 1.13 content and tons of tutorials that might help you out. So the farm in action is this thing. Well, the farm is this thing right here, and then it in action is right here. Now, I am in a pre-release here, so there's going to be a big lag spike. Hopefully that won't happen once the official release comes out, but all you need to do is flick a lever. Right here is my lever, then a giant lag spike, like I said. Then you can turn the lever off, and the kelp floats to the surface. To collect the farm, all of your harvest, just float around on the surface, and you'll pick it all up. Now, of course, your harvest amount is going to depend on how big you make this farm. So easy as that, and if you have dolphins around, maybe they'll even try and play with the kelp. Pretty cool. But what do you need to make the farm? Right here, pretty basic stuff, but I don't have exact numbers because it depends on how big you want to make the farm. If you want to make the farm 32 blocks long, then you will need 32 pistons, not 64. 32 pistons. So that's that. You need some building blocks. You need a power source. You could do this with a button. I just like levers, but buttons would work. Pressure plates would work. Whatever you want to do. Then repeaters, dust, and torches. You'll also need at least one kelp to begin your whole farming thing. Now, in case you don't know, kelp works by growing straight up. This farm works by, just like a sugarcane farm, not harvesting the bottom plants. So this stuff will just regrow on its own. Pretty easy. Pretty simple. That's how it all works. Now, let's show you how to build it. I guess one more thing that I should be saying here is that you need water that's at least, say, something like 4 or 5 deep. Otherwise, it won't probably be really worth it here. Now, the benefit of building in a deeper place is that the kelp could grow taller. Kelp will just keep growing. So that's that. You will need more materials, though, if you build in a deeper spot. For this tutorial, I'll build right here, and I will build a smaller version, but I'll show you how to expand it. So what you need to do is build it however long you want, and at least 2 deep. You could go 4 or 5 deep if you want, but the bare minimum is 2 deep. You want to start off with a box just like that, any kind of building blocks you want. What you're going to need to also plan for is an elevator going up to the surface, because if you try and, say, put a lever underwater, you're going to realize that that's not an actual thing. You could build a box around it and do a lever like that if you want, but you're going to need to prepare for that. In terms of getting ready for that elevator, what you need to do is pick a side, either the left or the right of this thing. The front is going to be one of the long sides. And break a block. Again, it doesn't really matter, one of the two. And you want to go one out from the one that you didn't break, and then extend the back so it's even, and do that. Because basically what we're going to have is a 2x1 elevator in here, so the block sticking out is going to be basically where the elevator is. Next up, you need your pistons. You need to put your pistons lining the front side of this thing on the second block up. I hope that makes sense. It should look just like what I'm doing here, though. All of them facing out the same way, just like that. Then you want to take some more blocks and build up on every other spot. Now, like I said, I'm doing some different blocks here, but the blocks don't matter. This is purely aesthetics. Not a good aesthetic, but an aesthetic. So now we have something like this. The next part is building the elevator all the way up to the water surface. So this is going to, vary depending on how deep your place is, but build it up like I'm doing here. And then you will need to be closing in the other side as well, because we don't want water with our redstone. That, of course, doesn't mix. So build it all the way up until it breaks to the surface. You can keep going if you want, if that connects to your base or however you do it, but it needs to at least be out of the water. So we'll go like that. Next, you need a roof on your build. So I'm going to go back to this aesthetic look. Again, not my best look, but a look. There we go. We have a roof. Now the water needs to go. So if you have sponges, this is going to be easy. If you don't, it's not going to be hard, but it's not going to be fun. So get rid of all of the water inside of your build here, so it looks just like this. Very nice. So now it's wiring time. We have an option of how we could wire things or what we want to do first, but we'll start down here for this example. So to power the pistons, you want to power the block below the piston. To power the block below the piston, you need to send a current into that block, just like I'm doing here. I'm alternating between repeaters and wires in case you don't know redstone. That doesn't go into a block, so alternate like I did there. That should work perfectly good for you. Now we need to get the signal all the way up to the surface because, of course, our lever, our button, our whatever you're doing is going to go up there. So, whoops, I can't break that. So when you do that, make sure you fix all of your wiring and then we're ready to go. So you didn't technically need to take that block out, but I'm doing it here just because I want to. But we're going to make a tower now. So what you want to do is you want to go 1 and then you would want to go 2. Just like that, and put a torch like that. So basically everything should be powered on in here, which it is. Now you're going to want to do this little tower thing all the way up to the surface. However, what we're going to be doing here is kind of alternating this little setup here, so follow along if you don't know redstone. If you do know redstone, you can make this tower however you want to do. But what we're doing is we're putting a block with a torch and a dust on top of it. That is 1 block above this dust, just like I'm doing here. Now, each time you're going to want to kind of flip it and alternate sides. That's the point of the 2x1, and do that. You should hear your pistons firing and then retracting the whole time we're doing this because they're turning on and off, and that is the point of this whole mechanism here. So here we go. We're up on the surface now. So what you would want to do is check and see. Okay, so these are all fired right now. That's good to know. So if we take this lever, throw it down, and do that, they should all retract, which is good. So then when we want to harvest this farm, we're going to switch the lever just like that. Now, it's up to you at this point, however you want to conceal your wiring. You could do something like this, right, and block it all in. However you want to do it should work as long as your wire still operates this thing here, which mine is, so we're good. We're cool. Now, let's say you don't want to have to do a wire and you want to do a button. What you need to do is extend this whole thing 1 more. This will flip what state the current is in. So if we do that right there, we could use a button to harvest this thing. It's just going to stick out of the water a little bit more. Up to you, your choice. I'm more in the boat of not really caring what state my lever is in, so I'm going to fix that like that and leave it like that and go back under the water. Now, you just need to plant your kelp right in front of the pistons like I'm doing there. That's going to be your planting area, and the kelp will grow. Eventually it'll go like this, and then whenever you're ready, you just hit that lever just like that and it harvests, and then you turn it back off so it can grow again. So that part is just like a sugarcane farm. Now let's say you want to expand this thing and you want it to get longer. All you're going to need to do is make this wall right here. Let me go back to there. You're going to need to make this wall go further out this way. So pretty easy to expand. However, you will notice that your current will stop going eventually. For example, over here, this current does keep going and it goes all the way over here, but you can see the current is starting to die out if you look at the intensity of the red on the redstone. So what you will need to do is factor in a repeater in here somewhere. How you could potentially do that is by just taking one of these areas and putting a repeater there to continue the current. Now that will kind of waste this 1 spot, so that means that 1 piston every so often will not be a thing. So this won't be here, that won't be there either, and your farm will go like that, and then, you know, start again with pistons and everything. But that's how you could expand this thing. If you need more help on expanding it, feel free to leave a comment and I can try and walk you through it. Or if you need more help on any of this farm, feel free to leave a comment and I can try and help you out. Feel free to ask any questions below or in the Discord. Of course, as always, the community Discord is linked in the description. But that's your kelp farm. That should work for 1.13. I'm going to be making one of these hopefully once my Let's Play series Season 2 starts. So make sure you subscribe and look out for that. And like I said, lots of other 1.13 content. Keep your eyes peeled for that and at that, because there's lots right now. My name is Waddles. I hope this video helps you out, and I will see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.